Welcome back to the Juniormans podcast. My name is Finmans. I'm your host. Welcome to the show. Today, I'm going to be talking to my fellow filmmakers for a second, and by a second I mean 10 minutes or whatever. Being a filmmaker, myself, I feel like it's important to know, and this is just very basic logic, but I feel like it's very important to know how to properly tell a story. I still struggle with it. Maybe you do too. Who knows? So, basic story structure: beginning, middle, and end. Pretty basic, right? Sometimes yes, sometimes not, because there are scripts that I have read where, they do things like put the exposition of what's happening in the dialogue, and it's just like you can't do that. Like a good movie doesn't have exposition in the dialogue. Dialogue is dialogue, exposition is exposition. And exposition is basically what is happening in the story at that point, or past, present, or future. That's what it is. And who knows? I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Pretty sure. No, I didn't go to college for like my degree wasn't called filmmaking, it was media. So it's kind of like I have knowledge in in all those directions, because I did take film classes. And what I have also learned, actually, I will teach it to you guys here. So I'm going to say I know there are 5 film production stages. And here they are. Ready? Number 1 is development. Number 2 is pre-production. Number 3 is production. Number 4 is post-production. And number 5 is distribution. So each one leads after the other. Development is script. Pre-production is like location and stuff like that. Production is actually shooting the thing. Post-production is like editing. Distribution is like uploading it to YouTube and like Vimeo or something. Interesting thing is not a lot of people know about that process, but once you do, you're gonna be better off than those people who don't. There's another filmmaking concept that I learned recently. I think it's called the production triangle, where it's good, fast, and cheap, and it's all in a triangle. But the catch is, you can only have 2 when it comes to making a movie. You can't have all 3. You can't have good, fast, and cheap film. You can only have good and fast and cheap, good and cheap, and other stuff. So that's the kicker of it. And then it's kind of a fun little challenge too, because like when you start making a movie of any variety, whether it's a blockbuster or just a student film or whatever, you get a good challenge of what you can do, what you're capable of, same thing, who how, and like stuff like that. So the production triangle: good, fast, and cheap. Frankly, personally, I prefer to I don't know how to say this, but I prefer to make films that are faster and cheaper that way, because personally right now in my life, I work on a lower budget on like my movies and my films and stuff. Hopefully though, one day I will climb that ladder of good and fast rather than cheap. But you gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere as a filmmaker, right? Which brings me to where I started. Quick little story. I started officially making like movies maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago at most. But I really got into it like last year. And it does take time because I am a one-man film crew. It's not easy, but it's doable. It's possible. And I know all these. So like one filmmaker to another, if there are any filmmakers watching, it can be tough when you look on Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat or maybe even TikTok, for crying out loud, and you see like someone you know in a film crew, and you just go, "Gosh, I am envious that they're there," or like, "I am jealous that they get to be." It's like it all goes back to the anxiety episode where they're on their own path and so are you. You guys are not on the same path. Sure, they have more people to help them out with the crew and stuff, but you're just as capable. You are just as capable of making, let's say, a one-man film as they are making a five-man film. And that's just an example, but that's what I've discovered too. So it's like getting discouraged from making movies and stuff and making videos in general. That can be hard. Or like, let's say you don't feel like making movies or anything. I'd say if you don't feel like making movies that minute or that day, write a script. That script could be the worst script on the planet, but still write it, because then that gives you an idea of how you can write. And also, if you can, write badly at first. It'll evolve into a better product. It's true. I've seen it firsthand. Heck, I've done it firsthand. So, part of filmmaking too is that you just gotta show up for it. Commit yourself to it. I have. You should too, if you're interested in it. I'm not saying everyone is, but if you are, go for it. And that's the other thing too. So, let's say when it comes to, something that I think people struggle with, and I do too, is coming up with like a shot list, and then just filming it from there. It's easy, it's fun once you get it, but it can be challenging nonetheless. And then you gotta like go according to the shot list, and if you miss something, you gotta shoot it then and go from there. It's a hard skill to learn. Everyone that I know, I think maybe is still learning it. I am too. The other thing too, color grading. Color grade. Once you understand it, it's super fun. I had trouble. I didn't even color grade my first few movies, and then I started to do it. It looks way better if you color grade, just a little bit. Whether it's bringing the saturation up, or bringing the shadows down or whatever. But I recommend to everyone who's watching this, who is a filmmaker, to color grade their footage. Just do it. And I know you may already know, but just do it. It'll save you lots of time. And one more important thing is that adjustment layer. This is more of a post-production editing thing, but adjustment layers are important. There have been countless occasions where I've sat at my editing station and I color graded one piece of footage at a time, and that does not work. Thankfully, adjustment layers help a lot. You just put the adjustment layer on the timeline over your footage, drag it across, click on it, click on the adjustment layer, and then adjust from there. Color grade. Boom. Guess what? I learned that 2 weeks ago. There you go. So, yeah. To all my filmmakers out there, keep creating stuff. You'll be happy that you did. Yeah. Anyway, that was just filmmaking insight that I've seen and I've done and I've whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Junior Mints podcast. My name is Finn Mintz. I have been your host. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you guys liked these episodes and want to see more, drop a like on this video. Subscribe down below for Junior Mints every Friday and videos every Wednesday. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.